Not metaphorically, but quite literally, an infinite expansion and contraction, an endless rhythm of creation and dissolution. Every pulse of energy, every movement of matter, every flicker of thought, all synchronized in a single cosmic vibration. This is where Itzhak Bentov began his journey, with the radical idea that the entire universe is one vast oscillating system. Bentov looked at the universe not as a collection of separate things, but as one living wave. In physics, oscillation simply means movement between 2 points, a back and forth like a pendulum or a tuning fork. But Bentov took that principle and saw something more profound, that this back and forth rhythm was not just mechanical, it was the heartbeat of existence itself. From the tiniest subatomic particles to the spinning of galaxies millions of light years wide, everything vibrates. The electron doesn't stay still. It oscillates in a cloud of probability. Your cells pulse with bioelectric rhythm. Even spacetime itself, what we call the vacuum, hums with quantum fluctuations. It's as though the universe is a grand instrument playing itself into being. Bentov understood that vibration is not just a feature of the universe, it is the universe. Every solid object is a temporary stillness, a momentary pause in a sea of motion. Matter is simply energy slowed down to a visible frequency. And consciousness, that mysterious thing we call awareness, is what perceives these oscillations from within the system itself. He would often describe reality as a kind of cosmic orchestra, where every living being, every atom, every star contributes a note. Together they form a universal symphony, a continuous oscillation of creation. The rhythm of your heartbeat echoes the rhythm of the cosmos. The frequency of your brainwaves mirrors the resonance of the Earth's electromagnetic field. To Bentov, this wasn't poetry, it was physics infused with wonder. In Stalking the Wild Pendulum, Bentov used the metaphor of oscillation to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. He believed that everything, consciousness, emotion, and even thought, was vibrational. Your joy, your fear, your love, each one is a pattern of energy, a frequency emitted and received by your own biological instrument. And just as a guitar string vibrates in harmony or dissonance with others, your personal vibration resonates with the frequencies around you. He proposed that the human body is an extraordinarily sensitive transceiver, a living antenna tuned to the oscillations of the universe. Every heartbeat sends out waves. Every breath adjusts your internal frequency. The more harmonized your physical, emotional, and mental rhythms become, the clearer your connection to the greater cosmic field. Bentov's engineering mind was fascinated by how precision machinery works best when its components move in resonance. In the same way, he saw human beings as biological oscillators, complex systems that must maintain internal coherence to function optimally. When the body's rhythms fall into synchrony, heart, brain, breath, something remarkable happens. Consciousness expands. To him, meditation was not mystical, but mechanical in its precision. When you sit in stillness, when the mind quiets and the breath slows, the oscillations of your body align with those of the universe. The heart's electromagnetic field begins to synchronize with the Earth's Schumann resonance, an 8 Hz frequency that hums through the atmosphere. Brainwaves drop into theta and alpha states, creating patterns of stability that mirror natural harmonics found in the physical world. In that moment, you are not separated from the cosmos, you are in tune with it. Bentov called this state resonant coherence, the point at which the observer and the observed are vibrating at the same frequency. It is the state where inner and outer reality meet. He believed this resonance is the key to understanding both consciousness and evolution. Just as the pendulum needs both motion and stillness to function, the universe needs both polarity and balance. Every vibration requires 2 points, expansion and contraction, life and death, sound and silence. Consciousness, too, oscillates between awareness and forgetfulness, between self and unity, between matter and energy. What Bentov discovered is that the same laws governing the swing of a pendulum or the motion of an atom are at play in your thoughts, your emotions, and your spiritual experiences. The principle of oscillation is universal. It describes everything from a heartbeat to a galaxy. In his view, consciousness was the ultimate oscillator. It expands into form and contracts into stillness, moving in cycles of birth and awakening. We experience this every day, when we wake and sleep, when we inhale and exhale, when our attention moves outward to the world and back inward to ourselves. The universe, then, is not an empty void scattered with matter. It is a living rhythm. Every oscillation, no matter how small, contributes to the grand pulse of existence. You could say that everything, from your heartbeat to the spinning of black holes, is part of one enormous, synchronized breath. Bentov often compared this rhythm to a standing wave, a phenomenon where oscillations stabilize into form. The universe, he believed, is one such standing wave, consciousness oscillating in such harmony that it gives rise to the illusion of stability. What we call reality is simply a wave held in perfect balance. If everything is oscillating, every cell, every sound, every star, then reality itself is dynamic, alive, and interconnected. There are no true separations, only differences in frequency. You and the cosmos are not two entities, but two vibrations of the same universal energy. And when you realize that, when you truly feel the pulse of the living universe moving through you, a quiet understanding dawns. The boundaries between the self and the cosmos blur. Awareness begins to mirror the very rhythm that sustains existence itself. The universe is a vibration, endlessly oscillating, endlessly alive. And within that vibration, you, the observer, are the note that listens to itself.